To talk to the man Muftawu Nabila Abdulai. I mean, he and I have been around for the whole year 2019. It's been up and downs here. So we're just going to look at the year in retrospect, with respect to what we've been able to contribute so far to make the station what it is. Because we're wrapping up today, actually. And when we come back, we're coming back big and better, and probably leaving the name Kwese behind. Wink, wink. Well, Muftawu, how be?
Cool.
So 2019, what's up?
It's been a long year.
Rather longer
A
than
year
the usual.
of a mixture of success and failures. A year to remember and a year to forget. You can put everything in one pot and say a lot about it.
Now break it down.
From the perspective of being someone whose duty is to wake up every single early morning, get to the office, put together stuff, go out there and gather stories. The responsibility of every single person working within this institution is to serve.
Yeah.
And every blessed day, you wake up with one thing in mind, the responsibility of feeding the masses what they need to know about happenings around them and the world at large. So it will be a year, I would say. It was an ambivalent one, but it was a one.
For now, I know breaking it down. The ambivalence in, please explain.
Mixed.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
that one. Okay.
Yes.
You could have said mixed rather than the big word. But somebody sent me a message. Well, actually, a guest was here, and I was about to interview her. You know, usually after your prime sport, I usually have the sports lights. So she was seated, and you were doing your sports, and she was asking, where is he reading from? Looks like you're not holding anything. She can't see where you're reading from, and she was wondering. So she asked me, where is he reading from? Is he being told in the ear what to read or something? So tell us, how do you get to stand there and memorize all those things in your head and then say it?
Well, she's not an older person. So many people have said it. Even people watching from home often think I'm reading. I'm not reading. It has to do with
natural shock.
It has to do with having control over the stories.
Okay.
When you have control over it, when you prepare for it, and that's some of the things historically they've happened. Yeah, they've been part of you for a while. So when you want to talk about them, they keep coming to mind with ease.
Okay.
So you deliver effortlessly. But it's not easy to always stand and start talking about certain things. There are sometimes, if you don't take your time, you might even sound repetitive.
Yeah.
But one key thing about that thing is having the know-how or having the content at your fingertips. And that's the biggest thing of every single person who wants to do the thing. If you're not well prepared for it, you come and you flop. And you're the person the world is watching. If everyone watches at the end of the day and they go like, what were you saying? What were you doing? It casts a slur on you. It casts a blur on what you can do. There's a big blot on you. So it is always right, or the onus is always on you to prepare your staff so well, and you deliver.
Do you think you actually delivered on your job ethics and responsibilities as a sports presenter with Kwese for the year 2019?
I think yes, but I think the responsibility is for the viewers to tell me what I did wrong or right. You and I know, 2019, someone had to take me to court. So, yes, someone had to take me to court for an alleged email. I don't know how.
But don't you think you should be able to say that, okay, yeah, I came,
yes,
I conquered?
I'm just going to talk about certain things. One thing about journalism is cross-checking, cross-checking again, and cross-checking again.
Okay.
And that is one thing I don't. I always ensure that I get it done.
Okay.
Every blessed day, people keep giving me stories. Every blessed day, day in, day out. I wake up. Someone even sent me a long document. I had to send it to the right person. It was about. Just tell me, yes, it is true. Ask other people to tell you that it's yes, you need to do those cross-checking. When this thing of going to court came, there was a publication that had over 15,000 reads. But I was not sued for that publication, but for an alleged email sent to Zurich, FIFA. And that, when that email was sent, the content of the writ of someone said that it put the person's life in danger. It's for the law court to decide that, but I don't see how an email sent to someone in Switzerland will put the life of someone in danger here in Ghana. Yeah. So it's for the court to decide that. The responsibility of every single one who has to deliver stories to the people out there is to make sure that you cross-check your facts. Okay. Facts are essential. Okay. Facts, you are supposed to report the facts, not hearsay. Yeah. If you report hearsay, you will have issues. Okay. That is why it is sine qua non that we all have a responsibility.
Drop another brothel. Sine what?
Sine qua non.
Okay, all right. So let me ask you. In your line of work, you've made a couple of predictions in terms of even the GFA elections and the results that will be churned out, the committees and all those things. And this part of the GFA has to do with the coverage of the Premier League that we're about to have. You mentioned 3 companies. I'm sure definitely Muftawu, you said you know that the company that is going to handle it.
Yeah, the process is finished last week Tuesday.
Oh, so you know. Yes. So who is it? You mentioned 3 people: MultiChoice, Start Times, and
you
then
see,
GVC.
often there are always some complex things that sometimes you don't need to rush and deliver the information, right? You need to always take your time. Okay. I am aware of the conversation that have ensued. Okay. I am aware of the political power in making sure that a certain media organization is given the opportunity to be the broadcast right holders of the institution. But one funny thing often happens. It is that if you jump the gun and someone overnight changes his mind, it can change every single thing. True. That is why sometimes you need to take your time. Okay. If I had predicted the GFA elections on the day of the elections, trust me, I would have gotten every single result right. But I gave the results on Wednesday, and the voting happened on Friday. And I missed just by 1 vote. But I got some of the candidates, someone like Fred Papu, Amanda Clinton, George and Koma Mensah, I got their numbers exact. I missed Keto Krakow by 1 vote. I missed Georgia Free by 1 vote. And then I got the exact numbers of Nanaya and Ponsa. So if I had predicted...
Your best friend.
If I had predicted the results the same day, I would have gotten the exact numbers. Just like the vice president, when I mentioned the numbers, because I decided to give the numbers that very day, I got the exact number of votes they were going to get. Okay, so in effect, you're not going to tell us. In effect, sometimes you need to take your time.
Let's bring it home here. I mean, which department do you think Kwese excelled in? Let's talk about...
There has never been any department that excels better than the production department.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Why so?
It is the production department that tells the world who you are, what you represent.
But the salespeople are the engine room. They bring the money to run.
Just a moment. Every other department of the institution is a supplement of production. If you don't deliver quality production, sales cannot sell. If you don't deliver quality production, marketing cannot market your product. Okay. That is why production is a key component of every single organization, especially a media organization. Okay. One funny thing that I have, however, observed within the period is sometimes you wonder whether you are practicing personnel management or human resource management. But these are not things to go into details and talk about. Where you realize that in every single organization, there's the production, there's a throughput, or some say transformation period, or some say, and then there's an output. Okay. And then you come to the employees of the organization. Okay. Sometimes you see yourself, am I part of it, am I not part of it? What is happening, what is not happening? The questions will always be there. Sure. But if you're someone who wants to do it, you get it done without any qualms. So
kudos to the production crew. I mean, he thinks you've done an amazing job. And for that reason, let me just shout out to all of them. So shout out to you, Alex, the floor manager. Shout out to, the guy at the top, Anthony Jr., and then Nana Sam, the head of production. And to Alex, to Emmanuel Mensah of sound, to Michael, our sound guy, also to DNA director, to Ayente, camera, Ishmael, camera, Jando, lightning, and to Akosia, reading the news, Mary, the producer, and Maxwell, our guy at the top.
You know what talking about me?
To Henry, our accountant. Who?
You know what talking about me?
Oh, you know the inside. To Philip, MCR, Cedric, MCR, and of course Frimpong, all of MCR. They've done an amazing job. They supported us throughout. Norbert, chief driver. I nearly forgot you. My bad. And then Adele, sales manager. Operations manager. I'm talking about Martin Fori. To everybody who has supported us
the
so far.
The specialist in the internet in the office, Padmo.
Oh, and Padmo too. Which one did we talk about? Specialist. Ooh.
The specialist.
Who's
Padmo.
That? Padmo.
Oh,
okay. Internet specialist. Yes,
yeah.
of course.
IT manager.
Of course. I want to say a big thank you. He's getting married, by the way.
Yes,
28, and I'll be emceeing the wedding. So please come and let's chill and party. Padmo, he has a lot of money to spend. So
yes. Why not do New Year Day so that we go chop plenty? New Year.
No, you want to do 28, 3 days to the end of the year, so that
so people too go talk.
The honeymoon will enter next year.
They want to say Imal 2019. You know about 2019.
All right. So before I let you go, finally, what do you think the GFA needs to do to make it a solid organization?
Why haven't we talking about sports in general? Because I did a lot about athletics, rugby.
No, we just had the GFA elections and all that, and then getting into the Premier League, and of course, a lot of responsibilities are on them.
Transparency.
Okay.
The organization was pummeled because we were made to understand they were not transparent.
Okay.
They need to be before the people. The very single day you and I will wake up, and a 6-7-year-old boy can mention the lineup of Kumasi Asante Kotoko and Accra High-Sefu. We have a product. Someone arriving at the Kotoka International Airport don't even know that we have a competition in the country called Ghana Premier League. Until we have all these things in place. Until the Ghana Football Association keeps seeing themselves as a private entity owned by certain individuals, and that the responsibility is only on them to share the monies they make, the profit they make, instead of disbursing it to members, then they'll always be in trouble. Transparency should be the key thing that will drive this football federation.
All right, so Kurt.
Unfortunately, another prediction, Kurt might not end his tenure as president because Palmer's chances of winning the Court of Arbitration for Sport ruling is very high.
Interesting. Well, that's a revelation coming from Octopus Mufti, gorgeous Muftawu. So we go back to